I want to ask you if you can relate to feeling like you've been putting energy into something and you feel like you just keep hitting a wall. It may not be YouTube. I know I have a bunch of people who watch my channel who are not YouTubers, but it could be that you've been trying to do something or you've been putting effort in a certain direction and it's not yielding anything from what your eyes can see, right? In the natural. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, All Things Jesus, or welcome back if this is not your first time. I'm Adriana and you saw the thumbnail. So it's no fluff. I'm gonna get right into it. I had been in a space of extreme frustration with my channel and just feeling like, Lord, I'm putting effort into it. I've been doing this since you called me to it in 2017, and just I guess the slow growth and the low views, right? The poor audience retention, feeling like people are not coming back to watch the videos. I was just like, maybe you don't want me to do it no more. Sometimes when it seems like God takes it feels like the favor is not there anymore. Like he kind of almost takes his hand off it. You start feeling like, maybe this ain't it. Maybe the time has passed. And I think when I first started out, I didn't really have expectations. Like I said, I was doing it just truly out of obedience and feeling like the Lord told me to do it. And so I'm like, okay, like me and Jesus, we tight, okay? We roll tight. I'm learning my gifts and teaching and all the things. And then somehow it just morphed into, like, I don't want to say entitlement, because I really do think no one owes me anything. Like, if you're watching this video right now, that's a blessing. And like, I'm honored that you chose to watch it. You can do anything with your time, right? YouTube is filled with so many creators. But I think what happened was I'm going to scripture, I think, and thinking like, okay, well, in due season, I should reap a harvest if I faint not. Like, what's going on? Why am I not seeing anything? Then I started putting it back on myself. Like, well, maybe it's something that you're doing. And I started going into this whole rabbit hole of trying to go watch other videos and content creators and people, who are strategists in this game. And it just was, I was going all over the place, right? And I think what really took me under was comparison. And starting to, not on purpose, but looking at other people's content just faithfully because I, liked what they had to offer, and I was watching them. And then I would look at some people because I was trying to gain some, research and some insight and understanding. And I would be like, she says she started her channel when? And she talks about some of the same things that I talk about. And, in all humility, I'm like, I even talked about that more in depth. And I'm not understanding, God. Like, what is going on? And I'm seeing like just the numbers rising and the subscriber count. And they're like, because God told me to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, but God told me too, but it don't look the same. Like, one of these things are not like the other. And so I had to train myself to not look at the views, like, honestly, not to look at other people's subscriber count, not to like try to look at how many people had liked their videos, because I was so discouraged, y'all. I would be like, on this one video, this person got more views than I have in my over 200 and something video catalog. And it's just not a good feeling. But I'm looking down in my notes so I don't go all over the place. I started to think to myself, like, okay, what could the Lord be saying to you? Like, what is the Lord trying to do in all of this? I want to ask you if you can relate to feeling like you've been putting energy into something and you feel like you just keep hitting a wall. It may not be YouTube. I know I have a bunch of people who watch my channel who are not YouTubers, but it could be that you've been trying to do something or you've been putting effort in a certain direction and it's not yielding anything from what your eyes can see, right? In the natural. You might be, trying to get a raise or, a promotion on that job. And it's like, I've been doing everything under the sun. I've been staying late. I've been putting in that work and it's not budging. Or you might be single and you're like, I've been doing the healing work. I've been going out. They say do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. And I still don't see any prospects, trying to buy a house and you're saving up money, but then every time you turn around, the money is just null and void. Like everything else keeps on eating it up. And it's like, okay, all of my labor is in vain. So you can put whatever that thing is and put that in the blank. You get what I'm saying, right? And so I had to say to myself, okay, you're at a crossroads. What you gonna do? Either you're gonna complain, you're gonna give up, or you're gonna keep on showing up. And so I wrote down here on my notes, like, I just came to a point where I had to continue to be obedient, continue to be discerning, continue to seek the face of the Lord, and know that my journey does not look like everyone else's journey. And I'm saying the same thing to you. You might, have your eyes on other people. And if you make that one thing that you're seeking after the only thing, you can grow bitter. You can grow resentful. You can get like me and feel like, what's the point? I didn't want to do this no more. But there is a point in it. There is a point in it. What I want to tell you is that the Lord sent 3 beautiful women my way this month. In the month of August, new beginnings, right? And I'm like, where did they even come from? They reached out to me for me to speak at an event, for me to speak at an online event, and for me to speak, I think, on a podcast. And I'm like, where is this coming from? You know where? From this channel that I was going to give up on. And so I know that whatever it is that you might be thinking about giving up on, is because the enemy doesn't want you to get to the other side of it. These scriptures come to mind, and then I gotta go because I'm about to be late for a session. But Ecclesiastes 3:1, for everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven. The second one that came to me is 2 Corinthians 2:12. When I come to the city of Troas to preach the good news of Christ, the Lord opened a door of opportunity for me. So sometimes you're struggling and you're wondering, why is it not working? Why is such and such getting what they're getting? But it's because it's not the opportune time yet. It's not the season of the open door yet. It is not the timing that the Lord wants to put your ministry or your thing or whatever it is, your business, on the map just yet. And we don't understand why, but it's not the Kairos time. And I just want to encourage you, if you can see how this video can relate to you, just don't give up. Don't give up, because you never know. You never know when the Lord is like, it's your time. It's your time. At the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen. I believe that's in Isaiah. I'll put it down below. But I just think that to whom much is given, much is required. And sometimes the Lord is pruning you to be able to steward properly what He's going to give you. I know even with myself, I keep it on me. With having the growth of a channel comes some responsibilities, right? It can come with some downsides, and the Lord needs to get my character in a place where I'm not going to be overly perfectionistic and wondering, well, maybe what they're saying about me is true and maybe I'm not good enough. And all, like, I have to be so shored up in the Lord, whether it's one person or 1 million people who will follow me, that I am doing this for Him. And that I don't need the validation of other people. And so anyway, I hope I got that out the way that it was in my mind. Don't give up. I was there. I was so discouraged and I felt like you're doing all of this in vain. But even now, my channel is growing. I didn't see 1,000 subbies for a long time, and I just hit it last month. And I know that the Lord can do the same for you, because I said, you know what, God, it's in your hands. Do what you want to do with it. So sis or brother, if you are striving toward, like I said, relationships or marriage, or striving towards, a new level in your career, a home, babies, whatever it is, don't you give up on God, because at the opportune time, it's going to happen for you. I believe it, and you got to believe it, and you got to stand in faith. So I'm praying for you, and let me go. Let me be quiet. I love y'all. And as always, until next time, whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. Bye, y'all.